Hello everybody, we are Team Orange here giving the update of Sprint 5. In this sprint, we just have a 1 week time, so we had just two scrum meetings. As usual, the sprint started with the sprint planning. This is our sprint planning document which has listed all the tasks that we planned and allocated the time and the individual who gonna work on those tasks. After that, made the retrospective meeting and find the lesson learned from the last sprint. We analyzed that as the fuzzy model is complex, we should give more hours or split the tasks. Some team members are not performing the assigned tasks in time, due to which the whole team suffer. If possible, include the analysis done in the video while performing the assigned tasks. We have added our analysis from this sprint. The next step is to create the Gantt chart, revise the Gantt chart and pod chart, as we don't have any change in the plans and the tasks, so we are pretty much aligned with our estimation of pod chart and Gantt chart. The next task we performed was to create the master data model. This is our master data model which has tables combined from all the team members. The different color represents the table created by different team and the interrelationship between them. Then we have our master data dictionary as shown in the screen. Here we have added the table names, the name of the attributes, data type, length of the data column, validation required, sample value, constraint. This is our master data dictionary. Then all the teams created the insert script and then we combine it to make it a master script. This is the master script where we have combined scripts from all the team members. Here we have the script from the orange team. Similarly, we have script from the blue team, and similarly in this file we do have a script from the red team, and thus we combine all the team members script. Here is the list of the table and the count of the records after we successfully ran the master data script. This sprint also had the tasks for the fuzzy implementation in Oracle and SQL Server. So to implement the fuzzy in both Oracle and SQL Server, we divided the team in two groups. One team worked for the Oracle database and the next team worked for the SQL Server database. So we started working in the fuzzy implementation parallelly. One team member was assigned to work in the MySQL database related tasks too. In Sprint 4, we had already identified our fuzzy attributes and data model. Bringing it up here again, we had fuzzy attributes defined as sales, products and profit, and fuzzy category as excellent, above average, below average, average and poor. The goal of our fuzzy implementation is to find performance of a campaign for the products. Having the base data model and adding couple of tables like campaign delivery, campaign reasons, delivery method, we started to implement our fuzzy database. This is our data model for the fuzzy stuff, which has some new tables being added. Those couple of new tables added are weight net tables and some fuzzy related tables and materialized views as shown in this screen. In our implementation, we have a promotion table which has a campaign and product start date and end date. While performing calculation, we are checking if the order date falls in the range of the promotion applied. To generate data in the WeightNet table, we had to first calculate the yearly gross sales, returned sales, and net sales, and total gross sales, total return sales, and total net sale. Similarly, profit is calculated. The sales calculation and profit calculation is shown in the formula. Then we use the pivot logic to get the sales product and profit for the yearly calculation. In Oracle, decode was used for pivot, but in SQL Server we used case statement as a decode is not as decode is not supported in SQL Server. Then we create campaign fuzzy tables and materialize view, and we created the functions to determine total sales below average, total sales above average, total sales poor, total sales excellent, etc., total product and total profit for two categories, triangle and trapezoid. After that, we created the trigger, and that gets fired when the record is inserted in the fuzzy cells materialized view. The insertion is done from procedure. So next step is to create the procedure to insert record in the fuzzy cells campaign table. Similarly for product and profit was done. After that, we created a fuzzy performance procedure to translate the numeric value into fuzzy category like good, average, excellent. The final procedure fuzzy decision will compare the fuzzy category for all attributes to give the decision based on the defined set of rules. This is the final result of the fuzzy decision in Oracle. Here the decisions obtained are poorly performed, not recommended, needs further analysis to be used. This is the trigger created in the SQL Server, part of create procedure, and this is the final decision that we get after running all those procedures and executing them. So the final decision we obtained based on our data are poorly performed, not recommended for future use, needs further analysis to be used, no decision, needs further analysis to be used. Here I am trying to show the list of the tables created and the record number of record count in the tables after the fuzzy local fuzzy has been implemented in SQL Server database. So the next step is to create some queries in the SQL Server environment and Oracle, and to verify that our fuzzy has given the perfect result. So for the verification, we have written a couple of queries as shown in the screenshot, and the output of the query along with the query is shown in this screenshot. Thus, we verified that the implementation of our fuzzy was doing good and it was giving the correct result. After the implementation of local fuzzy in Oracle and SQL Server, the next step is to create a couple of queries in the MySQL environment. Here in this screenshot, we are showing the implementation of the queries and insert script in the MySQL environment too. Here is the total number of records inserted in the MySQL table. Before we end, I like to highlight the analysis we made while working in Oracle and SQL Server. Couple of things that we noticed during our sprint was SQL Server doesn't have before insert trigger. View in SQL Server does not allow to create more than one instead of trigger. Therefore, after insert has to be used. SQL Server doesn't have for loops. To achieve this, while loop has to be used. In our case, we had to create nested cursor with the while loop to generate the fuzzy camp fuzzy decision table. Next, SQL Server doesn't support the percentage row type like data type when declaring a variable. So we had to specify the data types whenever we need to a variable. Next, we could not use the %new in the SQL Server trigger, for which we had to do update of the camp fuzzy performance distribute attribute from the trigger. SQL Server displays the error in the console, which makes it easier to debug. This is a good feature of SQL Server compared to Oracle. One good example to mention the observation is for loop available in Oracle but not in SQL Server. In our perspective, this lack of feature in SQL Server makes it difficult to write complex procedure in contrast to Oracle. On the screen is the for loop in Oracle used to generate data in camp fuzzy decision table. Here it can be seen that the code is easy to read and implement. The SQL Server counterpart of the above query is shown here up to here. So here we have to create a multiple cursor, and inside cursor we have to declare a while loop. So here we have starting of the cursor, and then we have the first while loop. Inside this while loop again we have to create a cursor which has another while loop, and again inside this while loop we have to create a cursor. So thus in SQL Server we have a while loop and then define inside that while loop create a cursor. So the implementation was pretty tough in SQL Server, but when we compare in Oracle it is pretty very easy compared to as we have a for loop in the Oracle. Thanks for watching this video. I would like to thank all the team members for their support to complete the tasks in time. See you again in the next sprint.